Hey, we're back with Sports Talk with Jordan. It's Ken Plays NHL 2K Sports here. Make sure to sub to him. We got Graber here, and we're talking about NBA award. So let's go. We're also giving our opinion, and we're going to start with the MVP, Nikola Jokic. Graber, give us your opinion.
So, as good as Jokic was this season, I think the MVP award should have gone to Damian Lillard. Here's why. From games of the NBA regular season 10 to 25, the Blazers were missing both C.J. McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic. During that time, Dame was able to single-handedly keep the Portland Trail Blazers afloat. And when the two stars came back, carry them into the playoffs. That is why I think Damian Lillard should have won the MVP.
What about you, Ben?
Graber, I respect your opinion, but I think it should have been Steph Curry. The award. I know you're going to say something to me about this, but the award is most valuable player. Steph's Warriors went from the worst team in the league last year with him not playing to him playing and then being like the 8 or 9 seed. He was great. He averaged 40 in the month of April. He led the league in scoring. He had a bunch of assists. He looked good on defense this year. I've never seen someone shoot from 3 so good in my life.
As valuable as Steph was, he did not have a better record. And I stand by my opinion. Dame was good, but not great. Curry was good. Actually, they were both elite, but I think Dame slightly edged out Curry this year.
Well, I actually think it should have gone to Jokic. Throughout the season, I know he averaged less points a game than Curry, but he also had more assists per game than Curry, and he was a great setup man too. He didn't take all the shots because he had other players, whereas Curry doesn't have as skilled players on his team because the Warriors without him would be nobody.
Draymond's not skilled, Jordan? You're going to tell
Less
me
skilled.
Andrew Wiggins?
Less skilled.
James Wiseman telling me they're not as skilled? Oh, just because they have Jamal Murray doesn't mean they're the best team ever.
And Jamal Murray missed a good part of the season. As good as Jokic was, he wasn't able to do what guys like Dame and Curry were able to do this season. And while I respect your pick, Jordan, I don't think Jokic should have been the MVP.
Well, Jokic also was a better team player. I feel, even though that doesn't really matter for the MVP, but that's why I think he should have won. And now on.
But Jordan, the one thing though is how many assists did he average?
6.
Remember, all he had to do was just get the ball, and he could have he just had to give it to Jamal Murray or Aaron Gordon. It's that easy. For Steph Curry, he had to give it to Draymond Green, who's not that good of a shooter. You have to give it to James Wiseman. You have to give it to all these people. Remember that. And
Then why do you think Jokic won MVP then? What reasoning did the people who voted make him MVP for?
Jokic won MVP because he had the best overall season. But
that seems like an MVP.
Fans think MVP only goes to the most valuable player.
Because that's the award.
It only goes to the best player. You need a combination of both. Damian Lillard was the best player and most valuable to the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard should have been the MVP in the 2020-2021 NBA season.
Okay. And with that being said, we're going on to the Rookie of the Year. LaMelo Ball won it. Ben, we'll start with you. What do you think of this?
I think it should have gone to LaMelo because, first of all, BBB gang, and second of all, he's just insane. I mean, look at how good he was. He even came back after a broken hand, and he still was that good. Who else does that?
You can't give the award to someone who misses a third of the season and is only slightly better than the other competition. I'm going to bring in a baseball reference. Even though DeGrom has 3 or 4 less starts than every other pitcher in the entire MLB, DeGrom is clearly the Cy Young right now because in 10, 11 starts, DeGrom has been dominant. LaMelo wasn't that much better than guys like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards showed promise on defense and promise scoring, which are 2
Well, I actually think, unpopular opinion, that it should have gone to Tyrese.
Tyrese Halliburton, I swear, if you say him.
I think it should have gone to Tyrese Halliburton because I expect him next year to be even better than he was this year. He started off kind of weak, but through the season he definitely progressed, and he averaged 30 points a game.
I'm sorry, he did not average 30.
No, towards the end of the season, I mean.
So he was on the Kings, and do you know how easy it is to do that? Besides De'Aaron Fox, who do they have? The Bagel Man. Who else? They have Kyle Guy. Team is terrible. It's not that hard to average points on their team. I mean, when's the last time they made the playoffs? 2009, 2010?
No, I think it was a lot before that. A lot of time before that.
See, this team is in a drought for a reason. If they weren't in a drought, they'd be in the. If they weren't, since they're not in the playoffs, that might be because no one wants to go there and they have no one. And when you have no one, it's easy to average points. Remember this. Remember, there is that. A few years ago, over a stretch of a few games, remember Jakar Sampson? He averaged like 30 points per game over a few games in Chicago because like Derrick Rose was hurt. Remember that. When there are no superstars around, or besides De'Aaron Fox, someone's got to score the points. Just remember that.
True, but I still think it should have gone to him. And with that being said, we're now.
You have the right to your opinion, even though it's wrong.
What?
You have the right to your own opinion, even though it's wrong.
I agree, because I also think your opinion's wrong. Well, everyone does, because that's what an opinion basically is. But now on to the most improved player. Julius Randle won it. I agree with this pick. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, he's on the Knicks, which are my favorite team, which makes me a little biased. But he averaged like 9 turnovers last year, and he comes into this year still averaging like something like that. But he's actually scoring the ball now. He's like, even though no offense to him, I don't want the Knicks to bring him back. I'd rather go for like someone like Kawhi or someone like that. That's better. But still, even if we just had him, because he cares more about making the people around him better. He had more of a passion for basketball this year. You could say Jeremiah Grant deserved it, which he sort of does, and in any other year he would have won it. But he just this year, he was on a team that like wasn't that good.
Jeremy Grant should have won Most Improved Player of the Year because Jeremy Grant overall took the biggest strides on offense and defense. All Julius Randle did was lower his turnover rate and start hitting some jump shots, making his field goal percentage higher. Most Improved is the player who takes the biggest step. And that player this season was Jeremy Grant.
Did you see how bad he's been over the last few years? And then look at him now. Next year, I think he could average like 28 points per game if he keeps getting up here. If he makes another improvement like that. You know, see that? What did Grant do this year? He averaged a lot of points on a terrible team.
Grant showed scoring ability and defensive ability.
How hard is it to do that on the Pistons?
You think Randle would have better stats on the Pistons?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, maybe. But Jeremy Grant took the biggest stride. End of story.
Alright, well, yeah, we're never going to agree because everyone has their own opinion, which brings us on to the next.
Stop talking like that. We all know whose opinion's right here, and it's mine, and like everyone else.
That's totally not biased at all.
And Raver's opinion is wrong at this story.
That's definitely not a biased opinion by Ben. And with that being said, we're on to the next one. We have the Defensive Player of the Year. It went to Rudy Gobert. What do you guys think about that?
Defensive Player of the Year should have been to Ben Simmons solely because only one stat on defense matters: defensive rating. And Ben Simmons had the highest defensive rating in the NBA. End of story.
I guess. Or you guys told me when we did this to pick Giannis because I bullied for my other pick. But who cares? The real best player was Nerlens Noel. Look at how good he was. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. He's insane. And if he's not all defensive teams, I'll just be upset. I mean, look at how good he was. He averaged blocks. He averaged boards. He even was our starting center this year. He could have gone a lot of different ways with, like, a bunch of different players. Taj Gibson. We could have gone, or Mitchell Robinson if he didn't break, like, 8 bones. But yeah, look at Nerlens Noel. But Giannis also deserves it, because look at Giannis. The only reason why he didn't win MVP was because of voters' fatigue. If it wasn't for that, he would have went back to back to back. He was insane this year. He averaged boards, assists, and rebounds. Boards, assists, and points. He was insane. I mean, have you seen him play? He even had that play where they called a charge on it the other day. It was against the Nets when he jumped from like almost a little. I gotta go this way.
Well, Ben actually had to go. Should we just? So I actually think that the Defensive Player of the Year should have gone to Kawhi Leonard because he was absolutely lights out. He's one of the key reasons why the Clippers have won. He's also offensively amazing, defensively amazing. That's why I think he should have won. I know, but it's just another thing he brings to the table.
Kawhi Leonard is just known as defensive, and so people fear him. Kawhi Leonard lives off of the fear factor. When you're getting guarded by Kawhi, then you're like, oh crap, I'm not getting any buckets on Kawhi. When you're getting guarded by Ben Simmons, you have a different mindset. Well, Ben Simmons has the highest rating, so I think the award should have gone to Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but Kawhi also has tons of blocks. He's now injured actually, but the award already happened, so it doesn't matter the playoffs. He could be injured for the rest of the postseason, but that's irrelevant for right now. Which brings us to the next award, which is pretty irrelevant compared to the rest. We have the Teammate of the Year. I think it should have gone to Chris Paul. Who do you think it should have gone to?
I think that Teammate of the Year award should have gone to Doug McDermott. Here's why. In the 5 or so Pacers games I've watched, in every game, Doug McDermott was on the sideline, patting players on his team and coming back, cheering guys on. And I actually did a little research on this topic, and it turns out Doug McDermott is one of the highest voted players for nicest guy from his team and from the opposing team. Doug McDermott is a great teammate and certainly teammate of the year.
Well, I think it's Chris Paul. The same goes for him. People on and off the court say he's a great player. He sets other people up. He doesn't take the shots. Sometimes he does, obviously, but his entire goal is to make the entire team better, not just himself better. And that's why I have him as the Teammate of the Year. And now on to the Sixth Man of the Year. It went to Jordan Clarkson. What do you think about this?
I agree with this pick. Clarkson was the ultimate Sixth Man of the Year. Nothing else has to be said. Clarkson was superior to all other Sixth Men candidates and was just a great player and a contributor to Utah Jazz's success.
Completely agree. Clarkson, I 100% agree with. I know Ben went with Rose on the Knicks.
Ben is a biased Knicks fan, everybody.
Well, that doesn't really matter right now, even though he does like the Knicks and he thinks highly of them. Which brings us on to our last and final award for the NBA that we're going to be talking about. We have the Coach of the Year. It went to Thibodeau. What do you think about this, Jacob?
I think it should be Quinn Snyder. As much as Thibodeau changed the system in the Knicks, created a winning culture, and the kudos he deserves for that, Quinn Snyder took the Utah Jazz team to the next level. With good coaching in late games, keeping up the Utah Jazz's success when no one else talks about it.
Well, I agree with the pick, and I know Ben did mainly because he's a Knicks fan, but I like the Nets, so I think it definitely should have gone to him. He is the reason why the Knicks made the playoffs this year. They were the 4-seeded team. Before that, the Knicks last year were not at all good. it's because of the coaching. It's because of all the players stepping up. But he is the main factor of why the Knicks got the 4th seed. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Ben had to go, but he also agreed with this. But have a good day. Bye.